All right, so you sent us this clip, huh? Thierry Henry on CBS Sports
Yeah.
with Jamie Carragher and Micah Richards, too. It's the Champions League pregame show. And you want the full story about that invitation, the one from IShowSpeed.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just any old invitation, is it? It's like
wow.
a window,
Yeah.
know, into how these different worlds, like sports media and internet personalities, are kind of starting to blend together.
Yeah.
In really, really interesting ways.
Yeah. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I gotta admit, even I was a little surprised that Henry didn't seem to know who IShowSpeed was. His kids, though, they clearly knew. So, what's the deal with this guy?
So, you might not be familiar with them, but iShowSpeed's audience, it's massive. Like, it dwarfs most traditional media outlets. We're talking 40 million subscribers on YouTube and another 40 million on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
40 million on each platform. No wonder Henry's kids were impressed. But it's pretty funny, though, that Henry seemed more starstruck by Omar Sy. You know, the actor from The Untouchables.
Right. Everyone has their own icons, I guess. Exactly. And that's part of what makes this whole thing so fascinating. You got these like titans of traditional sports media, like Henry. And then you have IShowSpeed. And he's arguably just as influential, you know, if not more so.
With a younger audience.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. How did this invitation even happen? Did
Yeah.
IShowSpeed like slide into Henry's DMs or something?
Apparently, iShowSpeed, to someone at CBS, basically said, "Get Thierry Henry on my show." And surprisingly, Henry was totally open to it. He even said there were things they needed to talk about.
Interesting. And then there was that hilarious part about IShowSpeed's football skills. Or should I say lack thereof?
Right. iShowSpeed had played in some charity football match. And Henry, in his classic way, was like, hold up, how fast is he really? And they even joked about what iShowSpeed would actually do on the show.
As if they couldn't picture it.
Right. I mean, you have this legendary footballer known for his speed and finesse, and then you've got iShowSpeed, whose style is a bit more, shall we say, enthusiastic.
Yeah, enthusiastic is one way to put it.
Yep.
And that clash of styles, that unexpected pairing, that's what makes this so intriguing. It's like two different worlds colliding, and who knows what might come of it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
This feels like a pivotal moment, like we're seeing the old guard of sports media intersect with the new wave of online influencers.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how both sides stand to benefit.
Yeah.
From this kind of exposure, you know, Henry gets to connect with a new audience. And iShowSpeed gains legitimacy by being associated with a legend like Henry.
Okay, so we've got this unlikely duo, a potential collaboration on the horizon. But what does this actually mean for the world of sports media?
Well, for starters, it's a sign that traditional media outlets like CBS are starting to realize they need to adapt to reach younger audiences who are increasingly turning to online platforms for entertainment. This isn't just about a funny viral moment. It's a strategic move on both sides.
Right. It's like they're thinking, how do we stay relevant? How do we reach these younger viewers?
Exactly. They're trying to figure out
a whole new
landscape of media consumption.
I see. So it's a win-win for both Henry and iShowSpeed. But what about the viewers, do you think? This kind of crossover content will actually appeal to both Henry's established fan base and iShowSpeed's younger followers.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the one hand, you could argue that it might alienate some of Henry's existing fan base who are used to seeing him in a more serious, you know, analytical setting. They might not be interested in iShowSpeed's kind of high-energy entertainment.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you could say it's a brilliant way to introduce football to a whole new audience who might never have
tuned into Champions League coverage.
Right.
Otherwise.
Exactly. It's a chance to break down barriers,
That's
expose people to something they might not have considered before. Imagine like a teenager like iShowSpeed's videos suddenly getting interested in football because of Henry's appearance. That's the kind of crossover potential. That has traditional media scrambling to figure out how to work with these online influencers. It's funny to think about, right? A few years ago, the idea of a legendary footballer collaborating with a YouTuber would have seemed totally outlandish. But now it's almost becoming the norm.
Yeah, and that just shows you how much of the media landscape has changed. The lines between traditional media and online content are becoming increasingly blurred. We're seeing news organizations partnering with TikTok creators, late-night talk shows featuring YouTubers as guests, and now a potential collaboration between a football icon and a gaming influencer.
It really makes you wonder what the future holds for sports media. What if these kinds of collaborations become the main way people consume sports content.
It's certainly a possibility. We already see platforms like Twitch and YouTube hosting live sports events. Maybe in the future, we'll see even more integration with traditional broadcasters, incorporating elements
Of online content creation.
into their programming.
Okay, but let's get back to this specific case. Do you think Henry will actually go through with it and appear on IShowSpeed's channel?
Well, he did seem genuinely interested during that clip. Remember, he said, I would love to go on that show. Plus, there's a savvy business move here for Henry.
By appearing on IShowSpeed's channel, he can instantly connect with a younger audience, potentially boosting his own brand and expanding his reach.
Right. It makes sense from a strategic standpoint. Can you imagine, though, what that collaboration would look like?
Henry, known for his thoughtful analysis and eloquence, paired with IShowSpeed's over-the-top energy, the contrast is pretty striking.
It's either going to be brilliantly entertaining or utter chaos.
But think of the content possibilities. You can have Henry offering, like, serious football analysis alongside IShowSpeed's irreverent commentary. You could have Henry trying to teach IShowSpeed some of his signature moves. Or imagine IShowSpeed try and get Henry to do one of his viral dances.
Okay. Now, that's an image I can't get out of my head. It would definitely be entertaining. And in the world of online content, entertainment is king. Exactly. And who knows? Maybe this unlikely pairing will spark a genuine connection between Henry and IShowSpeed. Maybe they'll find common ground and learn something from each other.
That's a nice thought. But even if they don't become best friends, this whole interaction speaks volumes about the power of these seemingly small, random moments.
You're right. This isn't just about Thierry Henry and IShowSpeed. It's about the changing face of media and how these unexpected collisions can create ripples that extend far beyond the initial interaction.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't underestimate the potential impact of these seemingly insignificant moments.
Absolutely. They can be indicators of much larger shifts happening beneath the surface, shifts that are shaping the way we consume information, entertainment, and connect with each other.
So what does this all mean for us, the viewers, the fans? What should we be paying attention to as these worlds continue to converge?
Keep your eyes peeled and your minds open. We're in for a wild ride. As the media landscape continues to evolve, we'll likely see a more diverse, dynamic, and, frankly, unpredictable media landscape in the years to come. Content will be coming at us from all directions, and the lines between what's considered traditional and what's considered new media will continue to blur.
It's kind of exciting, right? This feeling of not knowing exactly what's coming next. Who would predict it a year ago that Thierry Henry and IShowSpeed would even be mentioned in the same sentence, let alone be on the verge of a potential collaboration?
It's a testament to how quickly things can change in the digital age. And it speaks to the power of individuals to shape and disrupt entire industries.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into this whole Thierry Henry and IShowSpeed thing, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to really think about?
I want them to consider the power of those seemingly small, random moments, like that whole interaction between Thierry Henry and IShowSpeed. They might seem insignificant on the surface, but they can actually be indicators of much larger shifts happening beneath the surface, shifts that are shaping how we consume information, entertainment, and even connect with each other.
So it's not just about a footballer and a YouTuber. It's about paying attention to the subtle clues that reveal how our world is changing right before our eyes.
Exactly. Those seemingly random moments can be incredibly revealing if you know what to look for.
This has been an eye-opening deep dive, to say the least. So for our listener out there who sent us that Thierry Henry clip, what should they be looking out for next? What's the next evolution in this brave new world of sports media?
Well, that's the exciting part. We don't know exactly what the future holds, but we can be sure that it will be shaped by this ongoing convergence of traditional media and online content creation. We might see even more unlikely collaborations, more cross-pollination. Between these different spheres, it's up to us to stay curious and engaged, to keep our eyes peeled for those unexpected moments that signal where things are headed.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see a whole wave of retired footballers joining forces with popular YouTubers. Maybe we'll see esports athletes appearing on primetime news shows. Maybe we'll even see Thierry Henry teaching IShowSpeed how to bend it like Beckham. The possibilities are endless.
Right, and that's what makes this so fascinating. We're witnessing a period of rapid change and experimentation in the media landscape. It's unpredictable, it's exciting, and it's definitely worth paying attention to.
All right, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and entertaining.
And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire you to step outside your comfort zone and try something unexpected. You might just be surprised at what you discover.
That's it for today. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.